The Barque has always been the best healing ship in Skull and Bones, but now thanks to the new perks and statistics from the 6 available upgrades and the new Season 2 weapons and furniture, the Barque can now heal itself faster than most enemies can even damage you. And it works for both PvP and PVE. It's like putting the game into an easy mode. For a lot of the enemies, you won't need to brace or use a repair kit. It almost feels like I'm cheating. Here is a great example of its healing power. I'm facing off with a Sambuk that is bombarding me with its endless fire attacks from its broadsides and rockets. And I'm just anchored, not moving at all, and I rarely have to brace, and my health is always staying at almost 100%. You can see the Sambuk has put the ablaze effect on me whilst I'm burning away, but my health just keeps on regenerating. The Sambuk has probably become the most popular ship in Season 2 due to its high damage per second. But here you can see it doesn't stand a chance, and I can just absorb all of its hits and quickly heal back up to full health. And while at the same time its health slowly dwindles down until it can't fight anymore. I haven't even focused on how to do high damage in return, because I can always outlive them with this build. I've even tested it out by sailing between 2 other PvP players in a takeover event, and the other players try to avoid me once they realize I'm healing so quickly. Or sometimes they just even run out of the takeover zone because they realize it's a hopeless fight for them. I've only once had a more challenging fight with this build, and that was against another Barque. I was not losing any health, but I needed to switch out my weapons for a higher DPS. So make sure you use the weapons of your choice, but follow the rest of this build. This build works great for all convoys and bosses, but I'll put that footage at the end of the video so we can jump straight into the build and I'll show you how it all works. So we're using the Barque and it's been upgraded the maximum 6 times. We need it upgraded 6 times to unlock the Mend perk, which increases repair amount from repair weapons by 40% for ships with less than 33% hull health. This is great when in a tricky situation because unlike the other healing weapons, the healing buoys actually can heal yourself and not just friendly ships. Soon you'll see why this is so important. The other reasons we want to upgrade the Barque the full 6 times is because it also increases our hull health, which is great for the Revitalize perk, as it restores 0.5% of hull health per second. And thanks to the upgrades and furniture pieces, our hull health is almost 50,000. So we are passively healing about 250 health a second for doing nothing, plus the sphere damage healing on top of that. Now for our armor. You may think the Ouroboros is great for its healing perks, but I think the Black Prince works better, and here is why. The Barque's Mend perk increases healing when we are below 33% hull health, and the Black Prince reduces damage taken by 50% when our health is also below 33%. So with these 2 perks, if we are below 33% hull health, we will take only half incoming damage and be healed 40% faster, meaning we will be above 30% hull health almost instantly. And it's also very rare to ever get below 33% health with this build. It's just a great backup to have. Now for the important furniture pieces. Firstly, we are using the Buoy Locker. This increases the amount of healing buoys by 1, which the standard is only 1, so that means we're doubling it to 2 and therefore doubling our healing ability, which is huge. And then it increases the buoy health by 25% so they don't get damaged as easily and stay in the fight longer. And reduces the reload time of the buoys by 7%, meaning we can use them more frequently. Up next is the Machinist Station. This increases the radius of repair buoys by 25% and increases repair amount by another 25%. This all stacks up to the massive healing that we see. Next, I've chosen the Compagnie screens, mainly for the increased hull health by 3% and therefore giving us more passive healing. But also, the reduction of incoming burning charge is great, as there's so many Sambuks at the moment, as they're the most popular ship in Season 2. And the last perk reduces the area of effect damage from bombards, warhammers, and other weapons like that. Next is the double planked hull for the extra 5% increase in hull health, and therefore more passive healing. Then the Joinery Workshop to increase our repair buoy repair amount by another 10%. And now you can probably understand why the buoy repairs us so quickly. Lastly, I've chosen Botswan's Toll, mainly because my weapon choice generates crew attacks, so I wanted my crew attacks to do more damage. But if you have access to the leather fashioning station, Lestari trophy, or the cursed banner, I'd recommend using those first. I just haven't been lucky enough to get them. As for the weapon choice, just make sure you have the little grace equipped in the auxiliary position, as those healing buoys are very important for this build. And the other weapon choices are up to you. I use the Skurlock Long 9s on the front to stop enemy ships fleeing, although the latest patch kind of made them less effective, but I still find them useful. And on the sides, I play around with the Zamzanas, Fire Bombard 3s, and the Basilisks, so you can use whatever you prefer here. Alright, now for the best way to use the build so you get the most out of it. It's very easy to use and forgiving if you make mistakes. But just before starting a tougher battle, in PvP for example, make sure to pop your repair buoys out. But remember, they can be destroyed fairly easily, so try to put them behind you and not in the line of fire, as they will get destroyed and you will lose your biggest source of health regen. Trust me, I've made this mistake plenty of times. Also remember to always have restoration kits equipped, so you can remove the ablaze effects, flooded and torn sails, etc., as this reduces enemy damage multipliers on you. And sometimes you might be caught off guard, so always have an enhanced repair kit 2 available. I use these for big heals and short cooldown times. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy using this massive health regen build. I've also tested it in the most recent update and it works just as great. If you have any builds or other guides you want, just let me know in the comments below. I'm working on a sloop, Padawakang and brig build at the moment, so keep an eye out for those. Also, I love to see your builds, so share them below. I'll leave some raw footage with this build taking on convoys if you want to see more examples, and I'll see you next time.
Fucking hell!